I just thought that the first half was pretty mediocre. We deserved to win, but problem is I think Mourinho's got a lot to do. He's got a lot to do. I think he's inherited a squad that isn't probably what he wants at this point in time, and I don't think we're going to make the. I don't think we're going to win the league. Let's put it that way. I don't think they are either. Truthful.
Very disappointed because I don't know what we was going for towards the end. Like we brought Rooney on so we couldn't counter-attack him, and we just kind of fell apart. We had Marcos Rojo and Phil Jones trying to deal with Giroud. He's just light years ahead of him in terms of aerial ability. And it was, again, we fell apart at just trying to defend something simple. Like when a team tries and does something complicated and tries to play some football against us, like Arsenal did first half, we'll just defend them out the game. But when they try something simple, like, a simple cross into the box and an header, we fall apart and can't do all about it.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Can we take any positives from United's performance today?
Well, we battled, but towards the end we stopped doing that as well. I thought Mata played well. He was cropping up in places. The goal was a well-worked goal. I saw it right in front of me because I was sitting in that corner, kind of. Pogba just flicked it through, and then Herrera pulls it back, and Mata with a good finish. So the goal was obviously the main positive because it was a good piece of play. It's what we're capable of doing, but I don't know. We're just falling apart with simple things. I don't get it.
Arsenal was so bad. They truly were. That is really 2 points dropped again, and it's not the first time we've said that at home this season. Stoke, Burnley, and now Arsenal. 3 draws, 3 games where United should and could have won the game. And that's 6 points. If that was the case, we'd be level on Arsenal now. Instead, we're now 6 points behind them. And that was a game where we could have switched our season around. We would have then be 3 points behind Arsenal. But now we're still 6 points behind Arsenal. But they were shit. Everyone's banging on about Ozil, Walcott, Sanchez, 23 goals between them. They only had 1 shot on target, and they scored from it, which I think reflects badly on United.
From Giroud as well, of all people.
People are going to moan about why Mata getting taken off, but I understood. This is Jose Mourinho. He does that. It's 1-0, he shuts the game out. But he did it at Chelsea. He didn't then concede a last-minute equaliser. He would always get the 1-0 win. That was classic Mourinho. But Arsenal fans came full of beans again. They don't win at Old Trafford. End of story. It's now over a decade. 2006 was the last time. And they just had no verve, no anything. And I think Mourinho's going to be pissed at his team because it was their fault. They shouldn't have let, I don't know who whipped the cross in. They shouldn't have let Giroud get for that ball. He was the one who wanted it more, so he got the header. First half, stonewall penalty. I don't know what the ref was doing in that game. But I don't think I can look at the ref for excuses of why we dropped points there because it's United's fault, mate.
Do you think the referee might have been a little bit to blame with that foul? That handball in the second half should have been a penalty.
You can look and try and blame ref decisions, but ultimately it's the team's fault if they don't win a match. And I think we had chances. First half, it's weird. That was a perfect starting 11 from Mourinho, and we wanted him to play fast attacking football. But every time that Valencia or Pogba was down the right and they were in a crossing position, nobody was in the box. So that attacker was too far ahead of his teammates. It was almost like Rashford was too fast for his teammates today. I thought he struggled in a sort of holding number 9 role a little bit. I think we kept trying to knock balls up to him, and he couldn't control it and get it down. But he's a kid. He's growing in stature and strength. But understood Rooney coming on, understood Mata going off. I just can't believe we've given Arsenal anything from a game where they were distinctly average from the first minute to the end. You're smiling. I don't know why you're smiling.
Well, you either laugh or you cry, don't you, in situations like this? But, it's just a sickener. It's just an absolute sickener today because 1 shot, 1 goal, that's all they had. That's all they had all game, actually.
Did you expect more from Arsenal?
Yeah, I did, really. They came here playing really well going into this game, and they, front three, you thought, they're going to cause some problems. They didn't cause us any issues at all. We had some cracking spells during that game where we were just battering them. Opening 15 minutes, in the second half we had a spell as well where we got our goal. But I think the difficulty is, if you go 1-0 up, you can afford to sit back if you have the defenders that are able to deal with it. And I think at the minute with the makeshift defence we've got, if we had Bailly back and a full strength back 4, we could have done it. But inviting pressure on like that, especially when they bring Giroud on, bit of aerial height, you're asking for them to go direct, launch it in the box.
Would you say that's maybe Mourinho being a little bit naive then in putting a little bit too much trust in his defence, if you're saying that we are playing a makeshift back four and the pressure did tell at the end?
I think it is a bit. I think you can understand why he's done it, because he's
Mourinho.
It's Mourinho. He's done it for years. But he's done it for years at teams where they've always had a really solid back four that's impregnable most of the time. Today you could see that Rojo and Jones, it's a bit dodgy. They had spells where they were okay, but they had spells where they were giving the ball away and looked a bit dodgy. So when you've got them at the back, you don't want to be inviting pressure on you late on, and we paid the price.
If you're Jose Mourinho now in the dressing room, how do you move forward from here? Because this is the third time we've done this at home. Stoke, Burnley and Arsenal now. And mistakes are repeating themselves.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with making a mistake. You learn from it, you don't do it again. But we've done it again, and we've done it again.
Yeah.
So what does he need to change? What needs to change at United for us because that's 6 points we should have had, but we dropped?
That's a really difficult question to answer. I don't think there is an easy answer, to be honest. I mean, personally myself, I'm a classic 4-4-2 man. I like to have two people up front. I like to go with wingers, whip balls in the box, and you have two strikers up front that can finish. We're playing one person up front. You need your midfielders coming in, making late runs. And today, Mata did it, but the other midfielders didn't. We weren't giving Rashford enough support. When Zlatan comes back, which he will, and he'll be straight in the team, we need to. I don't think he gets enough support either, to be honest. I think we don't support our lone striker enough, and that's why we're not getting enough shots off on goal. But also our decision making. I don't think our decision making's too good in the final third either. There's times where we get into a really good position, then we slow the game down, pass it back to midfield, and you're not gonna get in behind and unpick defences if you play that slow. So there's a few things he needs to work on.